Today is Friday, and I'm so happy that it's Friday because I can finally take a breather. It's been a hectic week. So much has been going on. I started my semester, dropping off my toddler to school, and then I'm doing an internship, and I'm doing hours for a child lab center that they have on campus. I have to do that for a class as well. So I've been all over the place this week, and there's just been pretty much this amount of time for me to dedicate to myself, because I've been dedicating it to other things and to everybody else except for me. But today, my weekly ritual is to have my cup of coffee and just reflect on my week and, breathe and feed my soul, I guess. So that's the easiest way to put it. Feed my mind, feed my spirit. There has to be something that I have to do every week, once a week, even if it's just for like 15-20 minutes, but only for me, because if not, I'm gonna go crazy. I need to rejuvenate. I need to just be able to sit down and breathe for a few minutes, because as mothers, we have so much to do that we just always leave our stuff behind. So in today's little vlog, it's going to be really short, but today I'm going to be talking about basically solitude and being able, like I mentioned, to take that time to cherish the little time that you get to yourself. So basically, this is going to help you guys to be more authentic with yourselves, to be more in touch with your soul, and just to, give better quality care and attention to those around you. So if you don't take good care of yourself, how are you expecting, how are you going to take good care of others? Like some people say that, especially people who have children, and I've heard a lot of people that have this mentality, and it's not necessarily a bad mentality or that it's negative or anything like that. Everybody has their own opinions, and they're entitled to their own, values and traditions, and just overall just their own way of living. So I'm not here to judge or to tell you that you're wrong and that what you're doing is just not right. I'm nobody to say that. So, but sometimes as parents, and I say this to fathers also, and mothers, we're always so busy, and we're always putting our children's needs before ours. And what I mean by that is not necessarily that, okay, how should I put this? So so our children are our world. We know that. And they are our priority. Their needs obviously would always come before ours. And what I mean by that is that, let's say if my child is sick and he needs me to nurture him and cuddle him and be with him all day today, let's say. And what am I going to prioritize? Am I going to go and get a manicure, a pedicure, or am I going to be with my sick child and try to comfort him? Obviously, I'm going to be with my child, right? So, yes, children's needs do typically or should typically come first. But it's a different type of way, though. I'm not saying that they should always be the first thing. I think that we as humans, we are mind, spirit, soul, body, social, everything. So I think that if you look at it in a different way, for those of you who have studied or who have been exposed to any kind of metaphysics or just any kind of course that deals with families and even sociology or child development or any kind of social science class, I don't know how long ago you took it, but recently they've been really talking about how we have to really take good care of us first. We have to put ourselves first. And that is not that we're being selfish. That's not that we're being careless parents or neglectful parents. It just means that in order for us to be the best parent that we can be to our children, we have to really put ourselves as a priority as well. And it's challenging because some parents have this mentality, like I said, that, like, no, I don't come first anymore. I'm not important. Only my child is important. And, like, that's fine, I guess. That's your life. But for me, lately I've been shifting from that mentality. I feel like, and I've actually realized that when I am able to sit down and breathe and do something for myself, even if it's a good shower or wake up early and just have some tea time and read a book, or go once a month to get a manicure, or anything that will just allow me to meditate or reflect, or listen attentively to what's going around. And sorry if I sound really congested. I've had a really tough week with my allergies. But that will allow me to go deep enough in touch with my soul and spirit and dwell on positivity, I guess. So basically what I'm trying to say, if any of this makes sense, is that, like, when I do stuff that nurtures my soul and nurtures me as a human being, even if it's very minimal, like I said, like being able to sit down and have some 15 minutes to yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do, have a little break for you, whatever that may be, whatever you enjoy. I am able to give much better time and quality care for my children. For example, if I don't have a good night's sleep, I don't know about you guys, but if I don't sleep well, I know it's difficult to sleep well as parents, but this is why ever since my 4-year-old was an infant or whatever, I decided to make sure that his sleeping patterns were healthy. I wanted to make sure that he was getting enough sleep and that he slept early. Early can be different for a lot of parents, so I'm not saying like you have to put your kid to sleep at 7. Like that doesn't work for everybody. Every child is different. Every child has different needs, and that doesn't mean that it's right. Just because it's my what works for me doesn't mean that it's gonna work for your child. So anyway, so I want to make sure that my children are sleeping well, that they're eating well, and when they go to sleep at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I know that's a little on the late side for some of you. I don't know. I hear people who put their kids to sleep at 7. I'm like, good for you. Like, I'm not able to put my kids to sleep at 7. I'm not even sleepy at that time, but so my kids typically go to sleep at 8:30, 8:45. 9 has been like the latest time, and this started ever since Mateo started going to school, and I do this so that both boys are asleep at that time, and when they go to sleep, you guys, I go to sleep. I don't care if I have a mess here or whatever, I go to sleep. And the reason why is because I know my body very well, and I know that I need to rest, especially if that day I had a really rough day. I need to sleep and get my rest, because if not, what happens is that the next day I'm really grumpy, I'm very irritated, very short-tempered, and unfortunately, who are the people who are going to be affected by that? My children, because I'm just going to be like, oh, like, stop making so much noise, you guys are so loud, or I'm just not going to have the patience and the attention that they need and that they're asking for, so I've found this very, very, very helpful for me. So I try to be, I don't know, and it's not about luxury, it's not about being demanding, and it's not about being selfish, it's just about also looking at the larger picture, you guys. Like, besides parents, so besides moms, besides dads, we're also individuals, right? So before we had children, we were one person, And now our obligation, our responsibilities have shifted. So now, you know, we're caretakers, we're parents, guardians, whatever. And so it only makes sense that, you know, like if you want to do a really good job at taking care of your children and taking care of your nephews or whatever, like you also have to make sure to take care of yourself, nurture your soul, whether it's listening, like I said, to some like music, classical music, or doing your nails for like 10 minutes or whatever. I know that it's really hard because some of you don't have that opportunity really because of things that are happening around you in life. But you know, like, we have to make time. We have to make time for ourselves as well, because it's very, very important. It's very important for us, for our families, for our children, and for everything else that we do in life, you know, because if not, what are we gonna, you know, like, give to the world, give to others, right? If we don't really have anything for ourselves, so, or to offer, or we don't have anything, you know, that's there for us. So yeah, so that's something that I read from that book that I told you guys about, The Simple Abundance, a daybook of comfort and joy. And I think it's really important because especially now that I'm going to school again, and that I have, you know, my two boys that I need to, you know, take care of and raise, and so many things, because, you know, like, raising children, it's not just about being there physically, it's about actually, like, it's about what is it called, nurturing their minds, you know, like, you actually want to be do stuff with them, do activities, take them out, I don't know, there's so many things that we do as parents and that it entails. And so it's very important for me to be my best, to be in my best shape, you know, because if not, I'm just gonna break. I'm gonna feel overburdened, I'm gonna feel burnt out. And when you feel burnt out, and when you feel just bad and just not nurtured, that can eventually lead to impairment. And when you're impaired, you can't really do anything, you know what I mean? Like, you're just stuck. If you feel overburdened, you feel burnt down because of so much work and all the stuff that you're doing for others and for everything else except for yourself, you're eventually gonna feel impaired. Like, you can't really do anything anymore. All your energy is gone, and so eventually that's just gonna really hinder your health and everything else that comes along with it. So yeah, so take some time. Basically, what I want you guys to get out of this, like, little short ranting video is that, you know, like, take the time to just have, you know, like, take some time for yourself. Be gentle with yourselves. Don't overwork yourselves. And if you do overwork yourselves, because it is sometimes, it's just something that happens, you know. It's so something that stood out to me in this book is she quotes, "You need enough breathing space to allow your heart to ponder what is precious." So if you take the time to meditate and to basically breathe and stop for a minute, you're going to be able to see what is truly valuable to yourself. You're going to be able to, you know, like, cherish it more and be more in tune with it, and you're going to be able to observe it more. And you're going to be able to, because you know what it is and how valuable it is, you're going to be able to work more on it, I guess, and just value it more, enjoy it more. And so, yeah, so that's pretty much it, you guys. There's nothing else besides that. So even if at the beginning you're like, oh, you know, like, I don't really see much coming out of it, like, oh, I was able to meditate for 5 minutes or whatever, and I don't see how, like, it's really made a difference in my life, just take it slowly, and you'll eventually start to notice all of those things, you know, like that you're really doing and that you're being amazing at, you're gonna be able to really, really like value yourself more. You're gonna be like, wow, like I'm really doing all of that, you know, like I don't know, you're just gonna feel more empowered with yourself because you're gonna be able to sit down and reflect on the amazing human being that you are, and you're gonna be able to just value it and cherish it more, and that's just gonna help you more as a human being, you know. So yeah, take time, you guys, as much as you can, whatever little time you can, to yourselves, and yeah, to rejuvenate, because we have to give the best of ourselves, you know. So yeah, that's it. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next week with the next meditation or devotion or little rant. So yeah, have a good weekend.